Hello everyone, my name is Itamar Blauer, and in this video I'm going to be looking at the keyword research free tool that you can use within Ahrefs, and it's something that many people don't know about, that essentially Ahrefs has a bunch of free tools that are actually very helpful for a lot of people, especially if, let's say, you're starting out and you might not have a set budget that you can allocate to SEO tools that are paid. Then you can use some of the free tools that Ahrefs use, and in this video I'm going to be covering one of them, but I'm planning on releasing about 5 videos covering all the different free tools that you can use within Ahrefs. And before we get started, if you haven't already, make sure you click the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell so you're up to date with all the latest videos that I upload. Now, without further ado, let's get right into it. So if you head over to ahrefs.com/free-SEO-tools, you'll be able to see this page here, where you can find a bunch of free tools that you can use without needing a paid Ahrefs subscription. And in this video, I'm going to specifically go through the keyword research tools and the ones that I would use, and also just talk through the different ones, what they're great for, what the limitations are. But if we start by looking at the different tools that they've got here, we can see there's a free keyword generator, a keyword difficulty checker, and then we have keyword research tools for the likes of YouTube, Amazon, and Bing. Now, these ones are quite interesting. There's something that is important to understand in terms of how they work. With these ones here, you've got the regular data that's usually pulled through Google Keyword Planner in terms of search volume, and then that's mixed in with something known as clickstream data, which essentially is data taken from ISPs, and essentially that's added to the Google Keyword Planner data, and then that's what kind of makes up these search volumes. So it's quite interesting how these are calculated, and that's just something to note. But the ones that I'm going to focus on in this video specifically is the free keyword generator and the keyword difficulty checker. So if we start with the free keyword generator, we can see that right along the tabs here, you can have the option of changing it depending on what sort of search engine you want to run the keyword research for. And then you can enter the keyword, select a country. So for this instance, obviously we've got all of the countries here pretty much, but I'm going to select United Kingdom, and then we're going to type in a keyword that we want to research. So let's say, for example, I wanted to look for the keyword SEO expert. I want to find keyword ideas within the United Kingdom for SEO expert, and it's really quick at being able to pull off this data. And from the get-go, we can see that there's two options here. We've got first phase match, which essentially is going to be implementing that keyword how we've put it in different ways. So essentially it could be at the start of the keyword, it could be towards the end. And we can see that for, I believe this is the first 10, we get a keyword difficulty metric, which is essentially how difficult that keyword is to rank for. And we can see the search volume here. So this is filtered by the most search volume first. And we can also see when this has been updated, which is quite important to know, just because keyword data that has been updated recently is more fresh and is therefore more reliable than keyword data that is not as recent. So one example that we can actually see that is, for example, local SEO expert was last updated on the 23rd of November. So at the time of making this video, it's still behind maybe by roughly 10 days or so. But essentially we can see the list of keywords here. So it's going to show you the first 100. And if you want to see all of them, obviously you'd need to have a pro account, or you can sign up for a trial. And we can look through this list here and say, okay, well, if I'm going to be trying to rank for SEO expert, these are the sorts of keywords that I might want to look through and decide which ones are most relevant for the page that I'm creating. We can also move on to the questions part of this. The questions tab is going to offer a bunch of questions which you can use to create, for example, FAQ sections. And that's a really nice way of being able to just make your content a bit more comprehensive. And so we can, again, filter it by the search volume here, and then you can kind of look through here and decide which ones you might want to include, for example, in an FAQ section. So that's essentially the keyword generator tool for keyword research. And I mean, it does the job really well, especially considering it's a free tool, right? I think that's what we need to remember. It's a free tool that you don't actually need to pay to be able to do this. So you can actually come up, especially if you know you're starting a website from scratch. This is definitely a great place to start in terms of getting your initial keyword research done to get some good ideas of what you could use to try and optimize the page that you're creating. Now, I want to look at the keyword difficulty checker because this one is quite cool in the sense that it will show you an overview of the SERP and how it looks for the particular keyword you're putting in. So for an example, let's use the keyword SEO expert London in the United Kingdom and we check the keyword difficulty. So what it will do is it will display, first of all, the actual metric for keyword difficulty. So this is telling me that it's hard to rank for this particular term. And it also gives you an estimate in terms of the amount of links or the amount of sites that you should get a link from in order to rank in the top 10 for this keyword. So they are obviously calculating that based on the pages that are already ranking within the top 10 results for this keyword phrase. It's gonna also show the top 10 results, and the top 3 you will see the metrics for them. So you've got the Ahrefs rank, and obviously the lower the Ahrefs rank, the better the website is. That's just something to note. We've got the domain rating, so how strong the backlink profile of that domain is. We've got this particular URL rating, which is about how strong is that a particular page in terms of its backlink profile, which is more important, I would say, than looking at DR. That's just something to note as well. We can see the amount of links, the amount of unique domains, so unique referring domains to this particular page, and we can see the estimated organic traffic and also the unique keywords that is being ranked for that page. So I'm over here at number 2, and we can kind of just look through the metrics essentially of this, and of course you can only see the top 3, so you would have to get a paid account or start a trial to see the rest of them here. And it's interesting here as well, it's coming up with position 6. That's a knowledge panel that comes up, so just kind of displaying what you can see on the SERP, and it tells you also when the SERP and keyword difficulty score was updated. So that's also important to note as well. So you can check to see if the data is fresh. And in this case, it is fairly fresh. So that's good. And then we can maybe do one more just to show you another example. Let's see, SEO consultant London. Let's try that keyword. This is also something that's relevant to the other keywords. So I'm just going to click on some fire hydrants and verify this, and then we'll see the exact same display, but for the keyword SEO consultant London. And so we just wait a couple of seconds and it loads up. So we can see that this one, it's saying that it's still hard to rank for this term. Of course, the previous term was 34. This one is 31. So tad easier, but again, we can see all of the metrics here. And this was also updated 3 days ago. And I'm showing up in the 3rd position for this one. So essentially, the reason why you want to do this is when you're starting off, you can get a good idea in terms of A, who's actually ranking for the term you're looking at, B, how difficult is it potentially to rank for this keyword, and also C, you'll be able to actually get a better idea in terms of what that involves, what is actually included in terms of how difficult it is to rank. So you can see the amount of links and referring domains that these pages have. You can see the amount of keywords that they're ranking for. You can see the domain rating and the URL rating for the different results that show up here. And looking at the top 3 is usually a good way to start as well, and seeing what these websites are doing, how you can improve and make your content better. And that's, I think, really useful to have, especially, like I said, for a free tool. So essentially that covers the keyword difficulty checker, and of course you can also check out the YouTube, Amazon and Bing keyword research tools that you can have with this free kind of toolkit for Ahrefs. And you'll see in other videos that I'll put out, I'll be covering the link building, other tools, SERP and ranking insights, and also the Ahrefs webmaster tools, which are all free tools essentially. So that's why I'm kind of creating these videos, just to show you that, you know, you don't always need to have a paid tool. Of course, paid tools are great. Ahrefs is a paid tool as well, but just to show the sort of free options that you've got within Ahrefs, which is really cool. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please leave a like rating below. And you'll find obviously the link to the Ahrefs free tools in the description. So thanks again for watching. I've been Itamar Blauer, and I will see you in the next video. Hey, you've reached the end of this video, but don't worry, there's plenty more great content that you can watch right now. All you have to do is click one of the 2 video links on the left side of the screen. And also, if you haven't already, make sure to subscribe and turn on the notification bell to never miss out on future uploads.